I'm Jay.
And I'm Joe.
And this is On the Couch Sports. So this week on the Couch Sports, in the world of sports, we have golf. Rory was absolutely roaring at the British Open and claimed the title with a great performance at minus 17 and just topped Sergio Garcia and Ricky Fowler, who are right behind him, which were tied for second with minus 15, and Jim Furyk was at minus 13, following behind. But the talk of the British Open was his father and his friends, placing a 500-1 bet for $341 that Rory would win the British Open in 10 years.
Yeah.
They placed that bet in 2004, and his father and his friends had a nice payday of $181,000, courtesy of his son winning the British Open. It's going to be a party in that McElroy house.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then the Canadian Open, which is just underway, and there's a Canadian finally at the top in the hunt. It's been a 60-year drought, and now it all rests on the Saskatchewan boy, Graham DeLayet, at minus 8. Jim Furyk and Jim Petrovic are leading the way at minus 10.
So he's in striking distance. And also in golf, we have the Senior British Open, which is also underway this week. And Bernard Langer is absolutely leading the pack by 7 strokes at a minus 11. And his competition behind him is the legendary Colin Montgomery and Christopher Williams, both at minus 4.
And now over to hockey. Lots of news.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of news. My team, the Calgary Flames, signed 4th overall pick, rookie sensation, Sam Bennett to a 3-year entry-level deal.
And the Vancouver Canucks signed Jared McCann to a 3-year entry-level deal.
And the Montreal Canadiens signed Lars Eller at 4 years worth $3.5 million a year.
David Booth signed a 1-year, $1 million deal with the Maple Leafs.
That's good for Booth because he's finally healthy, and he might actually surprise.
Yeah, he might surprise a lot of people there in Toronto.
He sure will. If he's healthy, he'd probably put up 60 points. And then Lee Stempniak, one year $900,000 deal with the Rangers. The Rangers finally replacing a little bit of that depth they lost from Richards and Boyle.
And then Chris Kreider comes to terms and signs a 2-year, $4.5 million deal.
And then Ryan O'Reilly signs a big contract, 2-year deal. First year he's getting paid $5.8 million a year, and then in his second year he's getting $6.2 million a year. And then my team again, the Calgary Flames, signed rookie goalie Johnny Ortio on a contract extension of 2 years.
And Kevin Poulin signs a 1-year, 2-way contract to stay with the New York Islanders.
And the best one of these signings is probably Sam Bennett for the Calgary Flames. Calgary Flames need a lot of goal scoring, and Sam Bennett playing the second-line center behind Monahan will be pretty good for them. What do you think?
That Ryan O'Reilly signing for me is a big one.
O'Reilly, that's for Colorado. Very key. 23 years old. Put up 64 points last year. Maybe can hit the 70-point mark and keep that young Colorado high-flying offense in good shape.
Yep.
Now let's go over to the NBA. This is absolutely nuts. Andrew Wiggins signs his 4-year, $5.5 million entry-level contract. But before, the Cavaliers probably going to trade him to
the Minnesota Timberwolves.
They have to at least wait 30 days, so they have to wait until the August 23rd to trade the rookie sensation first overall pick.
And they did this just to clear up some cap space.
Oh, probably.
To clear up cap space for Kevin Love.
Why not?
Yep. And then over to the MLB.
We had an amazing series between the Jays and the Red Sox. And the Red Sox absolutely murdered, destroyed, hammered, whatever you want to say. The Jays, sorry, I can't talk, in the opening game, 14-1. And the talk of the game was...
Well, Big Papi hitting two huge shots. And then it just seemed to go wrong from there. I mean, then Mike Napoli, he hit a home run. Stephen Drew. It was just brutal for the Jays, 14-1. And everybody thought it was going to be over.
But oh no, the Jays back finally woke up and started mashing the ball, which we're pretty used to from the Jays, scoring 22 runs in the next 3 games, and took the 3 out of 4 series games from the Red Sox after losing the first one. But the talk of the 4th game in this series was probably this guy, Marcus Stroman. Where did this kid come from, man?
Yeah, he just came out of nowhere, came right from the minors and said, I'm taking over.
Pretty much.
He's an absolute gem, you know, he 7 innings, gave up only 1 hit.
Struck out 7, and he's been probably one of the only bright spots in the Jays pitching. since Mark Burley had his
10-0 start, and
10
that went to crap.
Dickey hasn't been good. Morrow's still injured, so he's looking pretty good for the Jays pitching. And he's leading all starting rookie pitchers with a 2.24 ERA. That's absolutely nuts.
It is nuts.
That's crazy. And also in the world of baseball, we had Rizzo hitting 2 bombs this week. But he did it for a special reason, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Dying kid, his final wish, you want him to hit a home run for him. And this guy, he doesn't hit 1, he hits 2 for the kid.
That was pretty special for that kid and pretty special for Rizzo to do that for him. And then Adam Jones also hits 2 bombs in the week for the Orioles in their win over the Oakland A's.
Yep, pretty special.
Pretty special, a lot of bombs. And now we are going to jump over to the Canadian Football League, CFL. And last week we had the battle of the unbeaten teams, Drew Willie and the Edmonton Eskimos. And last year these teams were the worst 2 teams. And this year, funny how the tables have turned, buddy?
Yeah.
Both battling for the first place in the West. And Drew Willie was absolutely brutal. I've never seen Drew Willie play like that before. They only scored 3 points. 3 points. And the Eskimos absolutely destroyed the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. 26-3. Mike Riley was sensational as usual. And the Eskimos are on top of the Western Conference and the whole CFL and start their season at 4-0.
And they only had 4 wins all of last season, so...
Pretty good for the Eskimos season to start, that's for sure.
Yep. And the Ottawa Redblacks finally get their home opener going, and the place was nuts.
It sure was.
The atmosphere was crazy.
It was loud and proud, and that place was rocking.
Unfortunately, the Redblacks didn't get a single touchdown, but who needs touchdowns when you got a great kicker? 18-17.
And they won their home opener with only field goals. Just kicking field goals. That's funny. Now, this game was pretty boring between the Tiger Cats, who were in Cowtown to take on the Stampeders. There really wasn't much exciting in the game, but the Stampeders win 10-7 and are 3-0 and are still unbeaten.
Then you had BC and Montreal, and boy, did BC come out flying. They destroyed Montreal 41-5. And the big story was wide receiver Emmanuel Arsenault. Finally, he wakes up. 8 receptions, 146 yards, and the Hattie in touchdowns with 3. BC is looking good, and they're finally looking like they're back on track.
The West better buckle up because BC's a coming. And then yesterday, we had the Battle of Alberta. The Stampeders were in town to take on the Eskimos. And it's the Battle of the unbeaten teams once again for the Eskimos. Calgary really didn't play a very good game. Bull Levi Mitchell only had 120 yards passing and 14 for 29, under 50% completion. And somehow Calgary still manages to win the game by a score of 26-22. It was a good, hard-fought game. Pretty much what we expect from the Battle of Alberta in the CFL. And now Calgary stands alone as the only unbeaten team at 4-0 and is on top of the Western Conference. And Calgary's 3-year dominance still continued over the Eskimos. And this is the Stampeders' best start since 1996. And Bull Levi Mitchell ties Jeff Garcia for 7 straight wins to start their career as a rookie. That's pretty special for Calgary. But the main story of the night was not the game, but the 50-50 draw. Worth over how much?
$350,000.
$350,000. That was absolutely nuts. I heard people were standing in line over 2 hours just to get one ticket.
Yeah, it was nuts.
But Joe thinks it was a plot.
Oh yeah.
No.
I think the Eskimos created a way to get fans in the stands. Create a fake ticket. Nobody claims it. So what happens? The next game, you get a whole bunch of people out for the game.
Yeah, you could be right, but then nobody would ever win the 50-50 then. Because if they're picking numbers from not win, some idiot didn't claim their ticket. They probably left before the game or
had just dropped it on the seat.
Had one too many drinks, and misplaced their ticket. That's what I think happened.
Or threw it away.
Yeah, you could have done that too, not checking the end, but that's what I think happened. Well, I'm Jay.
And I'm Joe.
And that was On the Couch sports recap for this week. And that is why we're sitting on this couch
And not in the studios.
Not in the studio. And we also have Twitter and email. So if you want to send us a tweet at onthecouchsports, or if you want to send us an email at onthecouchsports@hotmail.com. And next time, we'll see you guys on the couch.